there. Yes, you. Hi, you. Hi, me. Hi, you. Hi, everybody else. Welcome to the program. My name is Dean. Man, we got a fun day today because stuff happens overnight. Oh, it's just starting again. Is that you, Chris? Were you fucking around with that? That was you fucking around with that. Anyway, that's Chris's fault. And I'm not starting the show again. So welcome to the program. My name is Dean. Lots going on today. Hi, everybody. Say hi to our friends. We've got Lochlin Cross, 95.7 Cruise FM. I was on the radio with him this morning. We did a little radio.
That was fun. Thank you for that. I appreciate
that. Thank you for that. I hadn't been on the radio in a long time. Thank you.
We had a hole to fill. Bag Milk is our Wednesday contributor, and he was busy. So I was like, I'm gonna get Dean on. We'll talk a little bit about Leafs Oilers tonight.
Yeah, we talked Babcock.
Is that game still
Tippett.
on?
Yeah, it's on tonight.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been canceled.
Have the full Babcock or just the Tippett? That was a great line, by the way. Thank you.
That
Dean.
was great.
You're welcome. So we got Leafs. What do we got tonight? We got Leafs Oilers. McDavid out with COVID. Matthews, as far as I know, is out with COVID. Is that still right, Bondzee? Yeah.
I thought his PCR test, Bondzee, came back negative.
Well, an hour ago when I discussed it with my dad, it looked like he was still out for tonight. It could have changed.
Oh no, sorry. We should have actually checked in with your dad on that first.
Get him
shocked
for
we
us.
didn't.
Get him.
Yeah.
Get him to give us updates through the course of the pod
See if he's
on what's happening with the Leafs.
He's in the know. He's in the know.
Did he tell you too? Was it like one of those conversations where you're like, I'm not sure if Matthews is playing? He's like, well, let me tell you how this works. Did he give you one of those dad conversations?
Well, not quite like that, but he was pretty confident that Matthews was not playing tonight. So
I love. Is your dad a bit of a sports donkey?
Yeah, he likes the sports.
Yeah. In every single one of them, to a fault, they're all like experts. Yeah, so
that's not.
They regurgitate.
He doesn't listen to sports radio. He doesn't read the paper much anymore. So he's just a fan who watches it. He's not kind of like that guy who'll sit there and kind of tell you everything about it. I think he gets a lot of his Leaf information and stuff from my idiot brother. And he's one of those tools that you are referring to. So
just so everybody knows.
Expert in every fucking sport. Yeah.
We've all got idiot relatives. Just so everybody knows, Matthews is in tonight. He's two false positives. He is in tonight. You are correct. We are wrong. David is
your
out.
Old man's
Matthews
out of a gig.
In.
He's wrong.
Oilers lose again. Fucking mayhem in Edmonton. It's like, I don't know if you guys read Oilers Twitter yesterday or over the past 2 weeks, but it's over in Edmonton again. Sure, they've already fired everybody.
They're already considering bringing Babcock in. That's going to save us.
Yeah, that was one of the best lines that you had on that Bag Milk segment today too. Was the difference between Leafs Twitter and Oilers Twitter is probably just the T4 slips and what they look like.
Yeah. That's it.
So good.
Check the finances of the people that are tweeting about it. That's pretty much it. There's like a $400,000 difference in annual income. It's just what it is. But they're all fucking crazy. Things are just better here, so we're not complaining and doing what they're doing in Edmonton. But the thing that made me laugh the most, Locke, before we get to the show, the thing that made me laugh the most is the reactionary nature of people. We get it. They all overreact. But it was like every second tweet was like, we need to fix this before Connor leaves.
He's going to go, guys. He's just going to leave one day.
We're wasting his precious life. Why? He's got to. And it was each tweet was funny because
$10 million a year.
Yeah, but dude, it's Edmonton. I think he'll be fine. It's not LA. It's not Toronto. It's not Chicago. It's Edmonton. Take nothing away from Edmonton. I love Edmonton. It's just not those cities. And when you make 10, 12 million a year, you wouldn't mind having the nightlife. You might like to boogie. You might like, to go to Ripley's Aquarium or something like that, as opposed to the funicular like 14 times in a row with your friends. So anyway, long story short, I felt sorry for the people of Edmonton this morning when I was on the phone with you, because the only thing I had in my head was like, the only thing these guys care about is keeping McDavid. Not a word about Draisaitl. Not like, oh, it's a shame this is happening. We'll get out of it. It's just like everything was about trying not to piss Connor McDavid off to the point where he just isn't going to end up signing in Toronto anyway.
Have you seen him play?
Who, McDavid? Yeah. Seen him play for 4 or 5 years now. How long has he been in the league? I love him.
Oh, my God. I dread the day that he steps up to a microphone and very awkwardly tells us he's leaving.
He's leaving.
Pulls the chute.
Yeah.
Hey, if Gretzky left, he's leaving at some point too.
You know what? That's a fucking great point. Like, Bondzee,
wow,
you
guys are really digging a hole for Edmonton today. Eh?
Yeah, I'm not there anymore. I can say anything I want about Edmonton for now.
Dude, you said it when you were here. You shit talked Edmonton every time I saw one of those little. You were whining about the fucking weather the whole time you were here, Bondzee.
Well, yeah.
It sucks. It's minus 30 right now with a minus 40 wind chill. If I went outside and pulled my dick out, it would freeze and I could tear it off in a half an hour. It's awful. It is fucking no one.
Well, once again, it's just yet another reason that Connor McDavid needs to be protected. You guys should build him like you know what you should do is you should build him like one of those what do you call those domes?
It's like that's what they like. Like he had no. I love the longtime Oiler fans that still are butthurt about the Gretzky trade to Los Angeles to the Kings back in whatever year it was.
If they traded in 1989, 88,
Gretzky had no part in the decision.
No. None.
Fuck off.
He had every part in the decision. Every single part. He was like, "Get me the fuck out of here.
Let
me
go to
everybody
in the league at the time."
Yeah,
but they didn't. They didn't consult him.
Dude, it is. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Dreisaitl's still good, right? Guys can make a team around him.
Yeah, they got Hyman now.
We can't make a team around two of the best players in the league. So,
well, maybe the problem is you got too many good players and they can't play well together, and you got to take one out of the mix. So, I can tell you this: it's probably going to happen. Like the more we talk about the Gretzky thing, and I'm so fucking happy that Bondzee brought it up. And then you're like, he'll eventually part in the decision. Gretzky wanted to go. He's not going to want to stay there. And it's not just about the losing; it's about the big market stuff. But like this stuff's hyper focused, and I feel sorry for the fans because it's legitimately like Gretzky 2.0, right? Lightning struck twice in the city of Edmonton when it comes to the greatest hockey player of an entire generation being your guy. Yeah. And now, like the entire conversation isn't about winning or playoffs or Stanley Cup.
Connor.
It's all about Connor. Yeah. Which is
and
awesome.
and you made an interesting point this morning. I mean, it's not the season isn't over yet. No. But this is the dread everyone sits back and waits for with respect to the Oilers. Every year, even with a good start, we're sitting there for that other shoe to drop because we all know deep down inside that they have not built a complete team. We knew it this summer. We knew it when they were on their streak. We knew it in December when things fucking started to go sideways here. They don't have a complete team. We got shit goaltending. And we got a marginal defense at best, and we have two of the best players in the world. And unfortunately, the league today demands the players. There's zero parity anymore, right? The players, the league is built in such a way that you can't get away with not having all the pieces to be successful. You have to have a complete team. We don't have that. Right?
But
and you brought in
38-year-old Duncan Keith this year, so hopefully
unvaxxed too. By the way, that was fucking loved hearing that.
Well, he got vaxxed, didn't he? I'm pretty sure
he did. They sat him down and said, "There's 6 players left in the league.
You're one of them."
Yeah, one of them. It was a 4th liner, and we just sent him back to Saskatchewan. Good luck, Josh. You fucking tool. You'll never play in the NHL again because of your religious beliefs. You're an idiot. And then the other, Duncan Keith was like, you're what, 208 in hockey years? Get the vax. You got maybe 1-2 good years. We're throwing how much money at you? You don't deserve. All right, go get the vax. Let's not make this more complicated than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. Right. Anyway, best of luck to the city of Edmonton. Hopefully you fucking figure it out. It's hard to watch.
It'll be hard to watch that game tonight without.
Yeah, I watch it now because Matthews is playing.
Matthews.
But when I knew that both of them weren't playing, I took it off my schedule for the evening. Like I legitimately did. Right? Like would anybody? Bonds, you're gonna watch the game? I know you're back in the city, but would you watch the game if neither of those two cats are playing? Linz?
Yeah, I wouldn't watch the whole game. I'd probably watch a bit of it.
It's a highlight game,
and then probably bounce.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
That right.
I'll watch
highlights tomorrow.
Gentlemen, we had a fucking great day yesterday. And I know we've been dicking around to start the program for the first 10 minutes. By the way, brought to you by our friends at Easy Auto Financial, easyautofinancial.ca. Check them out today if you're looking for a car. Free financing. Who doesn't want it? It's all turnkey. But we had a great day yesterday because this is shit-eating season, as you all know, right? Like, I know we've got lockdowns in Ontario, and Alberta's going that way too. Sure, coronavirus is a mess. Sure, we've got a lot of COVID. Sure, Omicron shut a few things down. Sure, you can't go to the community center. I get the fact you want to go to a Leaf game. But in lieu of that, some incredible things have been happening in this country. And I would just like to point out a few of them today. That's what the theme of today's program is going to be, friends. Are we familiar with Kevin J. Johnson? Are we familiar with Kevin J. Johnson? Bonds, you know who this guy is? Yep. You know who he is?
Yeah.
He's that shit rat that got sentenced to 18 years in jail. Sorry, 18 months in jail.
In Calgary.
And here in Ontario. And he's a convicted racist. He also got convicted and has been spending time in a prison in Calgary for a whole bunch of other dumb shit because he's one of the people of the last 24 months who's been the biggest asshole to every religious group, every single ethnic group. He is a virulent anti-vaxxer. He ran for the mayorship of Toronto. He was sued by one of the great Canadians, Mohammed Faqih, who got the Order of Canada last week. I don't know if you guys saw that. Dude, you don't get the Order of Canada for being an asshole. For some reason, this guy hated him too. So he was sentenced to 18 months, fined $1.4 million over the past 24 months for not paying judgments against him for some of the racist, homophobic, terroristic threats he's been putting out. So anyway, yesterday he was caught and arrested at a Montana border after trying to flee Canada because he's too scared to serve his jail sentence.
Well, he was getting his ass handed to him in jail, right? When he was in jail?
Yeah, that's the rumor I hear. He was
Bondzee
he was eating shit.
Bondzee was asking about why is he getting beat up in jail? I've watched a couple of his podcasts just because they related to stories we were doing on the podcast and on the show and whatnot. And the guy, just hearing him talk, you want to punch him through the screen. I'm not surprised that he was dealing with regular beatings in jail. He's just a piece of shit.
So my understanding is what happened is Kevin J. Johnson, this fella here, former Mississauga native, and went to Calgary to be an asshole. So that's why he's in jail in two different provinces at the same time. He's a cross country asshole.
He fit in better over there.
Yeah, he did.
Should have stayed in Manitoba.
Here's the thing. So this is what happened. I'll give you the Coles notes. He was supposed to serve an 18-month prison sentence here in Ontario starting yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, for the Mohammed.
And it was with the grocery store owner, right?
Yes.
Over his conflicts with.
Yeah. He said some racist stuff about him. He was sued by Mohammed Faqih. He didn't pay, kept saying racist stuff, and then they're like, you didn't learn anything. Go to jail for 18 months. So before that happened, he was actually serving weekends in prison in a Calgary remand center for physically attacking people, threatening healthcare workers, the gamut, right? The whole gamut.
Yeah.
So he was serving weekends. Now, what happened was, running for mayor when he got 8 votes. And he was like, why did it only get 8 votes? We're like, well, because you're a crazy fuck. That's why. But here's what happened. And this is my understanding because we talked to some people at the Calgary Remand Center. We actually talked to the people where he got picked up. We'll get to that in just a second as well. But what happened was last weekend, he got mollywopped in prison. He was in the cafeteria. He was looking for some buns. They're like, too many buns. Now he's like, fuck you. I want the buns. And then he got his ass kicked in jail to the point where he was so petrified to go back to prison to serve his last weekend in the Alberta Correctional Facility that he actually skipped out on that last weekend he was supposed to be serving. It would have been done if he'd just gone to prison. So, boom. Wow. So now he's got to serve a massive sentence for that because he skipped out on his last 2 days, actually. He takes off on foot.
Minus 30 fucking degree weather.
What a brilliant idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
absolute brain surgeon.
Takes off on foot. Here you go. Kevin Johnson arrested in the United States while fleeing law enforcement in Canada. He had help. Johnson And right-wing YouTuber April Lejeune this is Rob Gill's tweet, concocted a plan for Johnson to illegally sneak into the United States. April Lejeune was picked. I'm not done reading that one there, fella. Thanks. April Lejeune was picked up Kevin J. Johnson once he crossed the border, but that didn't happen. She couldn't find him. Johnson, who had fled Canada on foot, didn't dress for the minus 24-degree weather. And ended up wandering in the snowy wilderness for how many hours? 15. Wandering around in the dark of night. Don't do that, Chris. I got it, bud. Wandering around in the dark of night in freezing cold winter weather, he started panicking. He was getting frostbite, and was lost. Kevin frantically contacted Lejeune. Lejeune asked Kevin to describe where he was. He was unable to.
I'm in the forest.
Yeah.
There's trees
I couldn't
around.
navigate by the stars.
Johnson didn't have a compass. Get this. I know. Johnson didn't have a compass, and his phone signal was distorted. April could hardly understand him. Should have brought a fucking compass.
That had nothing to do with the phone signal.
Oh, my God. No, it's just the fact that his fingers were cold. Lejeune tried to call Johnson back a number of times, was unsuccessful. Suddenly, she got a text message that contained a picture of a map with a location pin. She phoned the U.S. Border Patrol and shared Johnson's location with him. Rob goes on to say they assured her they would find him, and they did. Frozen Kevin J. Johnson took him into custody. He was being held and still is at the detention center in Plentywood, Montana, while his return to Canada is arranged. Not quite done, though. The great part about this, he's now banned from going into the United States because he left Canada as a wanted fugitive who took off from a prison sentence. So that's that. He now has to go back to Calgary to serve the entire sentence again, is what I'm hearing today.
That's not a
Then he
good
comes
idea.
to Ontario.
And he has to still come
So let
back.
me get this correct.
Idea.
2 days.
Hang on.
2
I'm
days.
not done hanging. I'm not done hanging the consequence collar all over this prick. He also has to come back to serve that 18-month sentence still in Ontario after he goes and reserves the sentence he just jumped out on. And my understanding is, Ryan, if I'm not mistaken, because he skipped out on his jail sentence here in Ontario, that will probably get doubled, possibly tripled. Because they're like, we're not fucking around.
See, I don't know if did he not make it. I don't know how the timing worked for this. Did he not make it here on the day because he's being held?
No.
Okay, so then he's technically breaching here, and he's
so he breached his sentence. He breached his conditions in 2 different provinces.
Buggered.
And breached. And you know why? Because he was deathly afraid of going to prison. Deathly afraid. He spent 15 hours. Don't believe me? Check the chick out, April Lejeune. This is unbelievable. She's the woman, and she like live streamed the whole thing. She was looking for him. This is possibly one of the funniest videos you'll ever see. And hearing her explain the damage that was being done to Kevin while he was on the run is incredible. Oh, and by the way, Kevin said that he was actually claiming political asylum in the country, by the way. He wanted, because he said the government.
I love
that's
this.
My favorite.
These fucking idiots.
Watch this.
I don't know. Since what? Friday, I think. That was the last show I did. Well, anyway, since then, I have been on the road trying to help somebody who is trying to get political asylum in the United States. So that's why I said this is an urgent request
From Canada
for help.
Oh my God. We're getting dumber. I'm worried about all our clients. Like, who's going to do all those nails? Like, I'm nail and go is probably going to, like, they got her best beautician out on the roads hunting for a wanted felon.
Also, listen for how many times she begs people for money in this too.
It's been a saga. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. So, this person
Kevin
is being persecuted by their government. No, I'm not in Missouri right now.
Idiot.
Like Jesus.
I wish I was. This is too. I don't mind snow, but this is a little bit much. Okay, so anyway, this person, you just got the notification? Good. Let me see if I can get this on my finger. It'd be a lot easier.
Yeah. Do that while you're driving.
This ends well as if she has a car accident.
Okay, so
if she ends up in the ditch.
She got arrested too.
Is seeking political asylum from the United States. Obviously, Joe Biden. Whatever. Okay? So, I had to go and try to find him.
This is where it gets good.
Because as he was going to enter the United States, he got lost. I mean, lost. I'm talking about like really lost. And we couldn't find him. We couldn't find him at all. In fact, it's been, let's see, I want to say 15 hours maybe.
I can't believe he didn't die.
Snow, negative 20-degree weather. It wasn't snowing, but it was blowing snow and that kind of stuff. And
he's out in a windbreaker.
Nobody could find him. Nobody. Tried locating his phone, all kinds of things.
What a moron.
If you're following this, he's been lost now for 15 hours and he's legitimately in a jean jacket.
Yeah.
And he's minus 24 in the snow and she's looking for him.
He knew he was going traipsing through the bush.
Yeah. Does he look like a preparer to you?
No.
Does he look like a guy that plans well to you? No. Has he shown everybody that he's a organized individual who's got everything in front of him? No. But this gets better.
Have ever felt like donating to my Cash App?
There it is.
I would really like you to do that.
There it is.
For those of you who
wait.
Yeah, my signal is kind of messed up because I'm out in the boonies and kind of weird and whatever. But anyway, so if you've ever thought that you were going to donate to my Cash App, now would be a good time.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get back to Kansas City as best I can. Because I'm going to have to help this guy with his asylum plea, it looks like. And we had to get Border Patrol involved and all that kind of stuff because on this side, on the American side, yes, exactly. I do need help getting home.
More money.
Yeah.
It's been way longer
Got a
than
bike
what
having
it was
a coat.
supposed to be to go and get him. So obviously we had a certain budget and that kind of stuff. And now I don't know what it's going to take to get this Border Patrol thing done. We've got a lot of documentation that we're going to try to give them.
Not cheap.
I don't know what they're going to do because this guy is not Mexican.
This guy's not Mexican.
So that being said, it's not going to be one of those things, I don't think, where they just catch and release and fly away wherever. It's going to be a completely different thing, I think. But this guy is a political asylum seeker in the United States. So, who is it? You know. I'm sure you already know. And when I can, I'll let you know. But I'm pretty sure you guys probably already know.
Oh, we all know.
Anyway, so that being said,
send me some money.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this has been a very treacherous.
Here it comes.
It's not the same like just going to Phoenix, you know, and you're just going
Jesus.
to
money. Wait.
do the Reawaken America tour or something like that. Oh boy, I can't. Is he safe now? I'm trying to find that out. We're trying to find out who has him. We're hoping it's American. We're also trying to find out if he's dead or alive.
Yeah.
The only information I have right now seems as if he's alive.
That's love.
Give your money.
Wow.
Bring those phones
That's
in,
love.
buddy.
Yeah.
That woman is a right-wing nut job, just like Kevin is. They met on some kind of like Getter or Telegram thing for people that felt like they're victims of everything, which Kevin is, right? And if you can believe it, Kevin told her and everybody else he's actually a citizen of the country who's oppressed in Canada. White guy oppressed in Canada. Not that he did all this to himself and he's suffering the consequences of being like an egregious cock, but whatever. And she believes him, and he got hypothermia. He's literally, where is Kevin now? He's, I believe, either in a hospital in and around Plentywood, Montana, under police watch, being treated for hypothermia. That's the latest that I got, which he got from spending 15 straight hours in minus 30-degree temperatures trying to run from a jail sentence after getting his ass kicked in a jailhouse 2 weeks ago. So there's your great news. As I pointed out, it's shit-eating season, and that might be one of the great fucking stories I have seen this year in terms of people eating
I just hope
shit
his life is better in the United States of America than it is in Canada. Good luck, Kevin. We wish you all the best.
You won't be there long. Cheers. That's for sure.
Hard to fucking believe.
Amazing.
Like, what gets me is just the compounding terrible decisions, right? Like at some point when you know where you're in trouble, we've all been in trouble. We've all done things and brought heat on ourselves, and we've all made bad decisions that have
never
like descended like terrible consequences at some point in our lives, right? All of us have. But there's this like governor that most of us have. This mental governor. It's like, it's too much. Murder, We're probably not going to go out and murder someone no matter how much you hate them. Armed robbery, right? Sending out a racist tweet saying a string of racist things in the middle of a podcast. I don't even want to.
Pulling your cock out in 7-Eleven.
Pulling your dick out at a Cabela's.
Hey, that was once, okay? Okay. The charges were stayed. Fuck off.
Yeah. Showing people your nuts at Ripley's Aquarium. I know I've said Ripley's Aquarium twice today, but there's a lot of glass and you can see for miles at Ripley's. You can show a lot of people your nuts. But my point is this, is it traditionally we don't go that extra mile. Like we go, fuck, this would be a bad decision, right? This is somebody, and you can call it mental illness. Maybe there's a little bit of that.
What is
you
that?
Can call it
what is
racism. You can call it a bunch of things. But deep down, this is a guy, Kevin J. Johnson, who has always been an asshole. He was an asshole when he lived in Mississauga. He tried to take over the Mississauga lacrosse. He almost shuttered the entire lacrosse, like sport of lacrosse in Mississauga like 10 years ago. He is a racist, convicted racist. He is abusive. He is a domestic extremist. And now he's a domestic terrorist who went on the run from the Canadian government because he's studying being oppressed.
Seeking
like
asylum.
That was his big decision.
How
that
much
was
is
him
that?
Going, this is a great idea. This is what I should do next. How the fuck do you get to that point in life where you're like, I've got because we all think things, right? We all think like I hate that guy. I wish I could just punch him in the face. Sure. Do we think about doing extreme things like that? Sure. But it stops at thought. Kevin puts these fucking things into action. Which is why he can't be trusted in public, which is why he went down to the United States to escape the terror up here.
And here, this is an interesting question, and I don't know if we can get the answer. Has anybody ever actually sought asylum from Canada?
I don't
think
so.
Has anybody ever tried to
successfully? No, I don't believe so. We can
probably
look that up,
not going to jive.
I'm sure lots of people have attempted it.
Yeah,
because
lots,
they think that Justin Trudeau is like the devil.
Yeah.
But
I wish I could go to the States.
He's trying
like those fucking losers at Rebel do that all the time. They're like, they always put out these tweets like Keenan Bexty, the guy that looks also like a burn victim who just got out of chemo. He's like, I wish I could be a son of the United States all the time. Like he was down there during the insurrection going, I wish I could live there.
He was.
I'll help those guys pack too. Here's the fucking funny part. Like he didn't even get a chance to utter the words political asylum because he got picked up. They ran his name and they're like, oh, you're a fucking loser. This is from Melissa Hart at Border Patrol in Plentywood. U.S. border agents from the Plentywood border station arrested a citizen of Canada for entering the country illegally on foot near Plentywood, Montana. January 4th, 2022, Plentywood Station Border Control agents were contacted by Sheridan's County office, requesting assistance, looking for a subject who was lost near the Montana-North Dakota state line. They encountered the subject fitting the description of the lost subject wandering on foot. The subject was questioned and found to be Kevin Johnson, a Canadian fugitive, not political asylum seeker, wanted by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Mr. Johnson is being processed and turned over to Canada Border Services Agency.
I will.
And all's well that ends well.
I will say this.
He was out looking for a Sasquatch.
I will say this. If you fuck with the border,
you're done.
You are done. Like all this stuff, having a racist tyrant and no frills and throwing, vegetables at people from other countries that just came here, new Canadians, missing court dates, none of that even touches what he just did.
No.
They will throw the fucking book at this loser.
That is a federal crime. And
he is in so much. They don't answer to anybody.
No.
Border Patrol, they're on their own playing field. You don't fuck with those people. When you're going across the line, keep your mouth fucking shut. They have more power than any other law enforcement in any country. Just shut up. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Wonder if they looked in his asshole.
Oh, for sure they did.
Do you think they checked his asshole out?
They waited for it to thaw out and then went in there.
Yeah.
Still a little frozen. Give him another couple hours.
My opinion is this. If someone has the legal power to bend you over and look inside your asshole, don't fuck with them.
That's what I'm saying.
I've said
that's a great benchmark.
Yes, great. It is. That's why when I go through the airport or if I go to a border crossing, if someone looked at me and went, "You need to turn around," I'll be like, "No problem." Even if I had a fucking 2-week vacation planned, I'd be like, "No problem. I don't need anyone looking in my asshole for an extended period of time." And he not only thumbed his nose at the asshole lookers, you know what he did? He took them on. He's like, "Come find me, bitches." That's what he did. And then when he got lost in the woods in the middle of the night and he's crying, because I heard he was crying too. That was what the Plentywood Police Department said. They're like, yeah, he was crying when we picked him up and like delusional too. He was frozen, crying, delusional. His fingertips were black. His nose was all scabby and red. He had like big tears, snot bubbles coming out of his nose like a kid crying at fucking novice hockey. "I want to get off the ice." That was him. Big snot bubbles pouring out of Kevin J. Johnson's nose as they pick him up at the airport. But what Kevin didn't do is he didn't live by that golden rule, which is you never, ever, ever, and I've said this 1,000 times, challenge someone who has the legal power to look inside your asshole.
Without asking for permission. They don't need to call a superior. They don't need to get a judge order.
Yeah.
They can just take you into a room, pull your pants down, and fire a hand up there. They need no permission.
And here's the thing. They don't even need to be looking for stuff.
No, they can just do it because they just had lunch.
Just making sure it's empty. Yeah. Just making sure.
They usually do it after lunch, though, I'm sure. Just to keep that hand clean.
Yeah.
Probably get away with it in the morning.
You're in trouble.
As we 15
can knuckles.
And hot wings for lunch. Didn't wash them.
I got a lot of calluses and I don't trim my nails either. So
you're going to feel that hangnail on my pinky.
As if that wasn't a great enough story from yesterday, which has to be a fucking movie. A plane full of Canadian influencers from Winnipeg. Hey, Rook. A plane full of Canadian influencers from Winnipeg. Have you guys seen this story? Stuck in Cancun.
Fabulous.
This
Why
is
Winnipeg?
Awesome.
There's no
not Winnipeg. Montreal.
Winnipeg.
Montreal. Sorry, Montreal.
I was going to say. I lived in Winnipeg for 6 years. Beautiful city. No one's influencing anybody.
There isn't
to do anything except drink more.
Yeah. But Sunwing stranded a bunch of Canadian influencers in Cancun after they threw an absolute rager on their flight to Mexico. Story came out early this morning because now some of the people can't get back into Canada because none of the airlines will bring them back. Now, before we get to the story, this is the video from the airline. And these are the individuals in question, influencers, Quebec, French. They party like I've never seen this.
Next
I don't know if you've seen this. Is fucking awesome to watch. Watch this. And the funny part about that video, to me anyway, is, and I'm going to play the full version right now. Funny part about that video is like you can see the progression of people that are like, is this a party? Am I partying? Am I going to like what? And then a couple more people come up, but you got to watch this. This is fucking awesome. As you can see, a couple people are like, yeah, we're on a flight down to Mexico. We've been trapped. And then, you got the obligatory drunk chick with the Grey Goose bottle that's half drunk. Hey, how you doing? And you got that. And then you got people start kind of moseying around. And then they start to party a little bit. This is on a flight to Cancun from Montreal. And then it turns into a absolute rager. As you can see, they started not just partying and drinking, but a bunch of these guys, all maskless, started smoking. Lighting up spliffs. There we go. A little bit of vape action too. And so Sunwing, this is a charter full of influencers. I have no idea who they're influencers for, but they're influencers on behalf of a company that sent them all down for the same purpose, which is to document this trip, which they did really well all the way down there, right? Yeah. So because they documented the trip, everybody went nuts. Sunwing went nuts.
This is what happens when you coop up a population.
Crazy.
We're going to see more of this. This is going to be our show for the next year.
Yeah. But these are the details. Sunwing Airlines canceled their return flights. Said basically go fuck yourself. In a series of now deleted videos on social media obtained by local paper, passengers were seen drinking alcohol, vaping, partying in close proximity. Passengers, including Quebec social media influencers and reality TV stars, cannot get home now because not only has Sunwing canceled their return trip, they've blacklisted everybody that was on that flight.
Nobody will take them.
And when you get blacklisted, here's the best part. The blacklist gets shared with all the other airlines. So Air Transat was asked about it. They said, we're aware of the situation. We can confirm that they're not getting on our fucking airline. And then Air Canada released it Sunday. They're like, we're aware of the situation. We can confirm they're not getting on an Air Canada flight either. So not only are these guys stuck for a while, they're stuck indefinitely because being blacklisted is effectively being on a no-fly list.
Awesome.
Okay, and that's the only way they're going to be able to.
I have a similar story. We were in Banff, and things got out of hand, and we got kicked out of a bar. I was down there with a group.
No way.
Yeah, as you can imagine. Yeah. And then we thought, well, we're not done drinking yet, so we'll go to another bar. So we went to another bar, and we roll up. Now, part of the problem is we're rolling with a midget, and that's pretty hard to hide. And so we get in line to get in another bar, and the security guard at the front came up to us and said, by the way, guys, you're not getting in. And we're like, what? We haven't even done anything. And they said, well, you got kicked out of a bar, and we all talk. So you're not going to be able to get into any bar in Banff. So this is a thing. Right? If you ever go to Banff and you piss off the one bar, which we did, you're fucking hooped.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened. So now they've got no way of getting home. And I was doing some reading today, and the guy that organized the trip, he's like, well, they let us party all the way down. So I don't understand why they're not letting us come home. So what happened was they gave all these people, they said, hey, if you want to come home, you got to sign this affidavit that says you're not going to fuck around. There's no drinking on this flight. You did all this shit that you shouldn't have had to do, but you did it. And the guy that organized the flight's like, hey, listen, I can't stop these guys from partying. So no, we're not going to agree to the things. So they're like, you're fucked. Now they're blacklisted. Now, literally, there are 120 Canadians from the Montreal area, reality TV stars, influencers I've never heard of, that can't get home from Cancun. And for whatever reason, I don't care.
In the words of Locke, they'll be missed.
They the only way they're ever going to get home is if this company, I don't know if they're going to pay for it, but they're going to have to get them a private jet. It's the only way that they're going to be able to fly, and that's even if a private company will take them. So
maybe they could call Kevin and get some tips on crossing the border on foot.
I also would just like to add that me and Dean had a discussion about finding some viral content for the D BlundellNet account. Mm-hmm. So this video was on our Twitter because I posted it about 12 hours before the story got released and started picking up steam. And the tweet that I put out was, these influencers have taken over a plane. We should have just let them separate. And people from Quebec in the comments have just been railing in French saying how upset they were. The one comment here is, yeah, because millennial influencers from Toronto or anywhere else wouldn't never do this. Va chier mon chum. So I just sent a gift that said we.
I think it's
and then we had another person.
Hang on. Before you read these, I want you to read a bunch of these. Can I get you some music for it?
Yeah,
do you want me to get you some local music
French,
for
please?
This thing?
Something French.
En français, s'il vous plaît.
Go ahead.
Do you like my accent?
Look, I know the ROC hates us in Quebec, but please, oh please, explain why and how the stupidity of these 100 COVIDiots has anything to do with the remaining 8 million Quebecers. I'm not ready to bet that 99% of us here do not claim these assholes. Sacre bleu.
Oh, they added the old sacre bleu.
So I wrote back Tabernacle.
That
was for us. That's for us English scum. That was because we all know what sacre bleu means. It's what we all say when we're joking around about talking French. Right?
Tabernacle.
People from Toronto would totally never do this. Pilot should have dropped them off at the wrong destination.
Yeah. I don't have a problem. Part of it is like, listen, they let those guys party their dicks off on the way down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like to a man, what they said to each one of those influencers was this: they're like, "Hey, listen, we can't really do anything, but it's a charter flight, it's a private flight. It's like the company, whatever." And does anybody know who they were influencing for? Does anybody? Yeah, go ahead, go grab another pint. Does anybody know who they're influencing for? Because
Saint Hubert,
Saint Hubert, the chicken. The debonair.
That's the only French company I could think of.
Fuck your sweet chalet.
I'll go get the top 15 bidders in my bus and bring them back.
I had Saint Hubert when I was in Montreal. I was disappointed. Just thought I'd add that.
Saint Hubert. That's what's funny is because it's legitimately the only French company I'm aware of either.
They were down there for the Poutine Expo.
Yeah,
that and the Canadians. I mean, like what other businesses are there in Quebec? Right?
None.
Yeah. Well, just TV. Anyway, fuck that is. I have no idea how they're getting back.
They don't need to work.
Today
we pay everything for them. We pay all their bills. And it's all the transfer payments.
I think we should follow them like they followed those Chilean miners that were trapped. We should follow them with like breaking news updates the entire time. Try and get a hold of some of them down there to come on crying on the podcast. I think it'd be great.
Just never suggest that they should separate because apparently that's a trigger.
Pornhub is in Montreal, apparently.
Meth. Where's the meth? There's not enough meth for us.
I think
SNC Lavalin too.
Is based out of
Pornhub. MindGeek, yeah. It's based out of Montreal.
MindGeek, yeah.
One good thing.
Yeah, maybe they were influencers for MindGeek. Maybe they're all porn stars. Who knows? All I know is they ain't coming back, which is unfortunate. That's the case, then
let's get them on.
Like I said, they partied on their way down there, and then they're like, "Hey, we can't do that on the way back." Wouldn't you have just said, "Hey, I'd like to go home, so yeah, sure, I'll sign whatever you want me to do."
Have you met a real hardcore French guy?
No.
None of this surprises me. What? We can't drink and party on a plane? Fuck you. Fuck you.
We'll do what we want.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing what we want, I get angry when I see people make money.
Oh.
This bugs me. This fucking bugs me.
I get angry when I see people make money easy money. Like people that can just turn around and go, "Hey, like I don't get angry at the chick that was begging for money on the Cash App. I don't get mad at her because I mean she's her. That's what she has to do to get by, right? Those teeth don't brush themselves, as they say. But what I get mad at is when I see stories like this. Chris put it up yesterday. Reality TV, and I'm not mad at her. I'm just mad that this is where we live. Reality TV star retires from selling her farts for $50,000 a week after she was rushed to the hospital.
She was making that much money a week?
$50,000 a week. Stephanie Matto, Chris, is that her name?
Yep.
Was she from 90 Day Fiance?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, I've never watched.
Why the universe wants to kill us.
When I was writing the blog yesterday, my wife watched 90 Day Fiance, and I told her that she did this. She's like, "You got to be kidding me!" I'm like, "No." Sells her farts, probably makes more than she does on the TV show.
$50,000 a week. Yeah, she did.
Know your worth, man.
Yeah. This is what she says. This is in Chris's post. Unfortunately, farting for a living with that figure is not all fun and games. Matto recently announced that she had to retire from the fart game after she was rushed to the hospital with chest pains. She feared it was a heart attack after going tests. It was a result of her steady diet of gas-inducing beans and eggs. So she had to call it a career. She had to call it a career.
What did you say? Entrepreneur, but fartpreneur?
Fartrepreneur.
Fartrepreneur.
The self-proclaimed fartrepreneur ripped up to 50 farts to fill 50 jars a week to keep up with the demand. She even had, get this, protein shakes to her diet to make them more pungent.
Oh,
didn't know that was a thing.
You should have consolidated and just.
When did this become a thing? Because I've
It's
been hearing
always been a thing.
But guys are fucked up.
Niche
dude,
market,
like,
man.
Yeah. So does it come as a package deal? Did she videotape it and stuff for the guys? Can you buy like different levels and you get a video with it with your own personalized fart in a jar?
Unfortunately, I didn't look too deep into it.
I did.
I wasn't on incognito mode on my browser.
I did.
And she put something in the bottom of each jar.
What is that? What is
a rose petal? She puts a rose petal in the bottom. Listen, some of you guys didn't look into this.
Counterproductive.
I sure did. Yeah, it would make the fart smell way better. But she was selling these jars. Get this, and you know what? Good for her, I guess. But she was selling these jars for between $500 and $1,000 a jar. She just had a special where she knocked all the fart jars. That word's so funny to say it. All the $1,000 fart jars down to the $500 fart jars. So, good deal for her. And this is her pimping it. It's funny.
I hope you're having an amazing day.
Yeah.
I'm wearing this really cute outfit and just getting ready for my second episode of 90 Day Fiancé Single Life. It's going to be a really good episode, so don't miss it. Also, I've been getting so many DMs, so many people asking where and if they can buy my farts, and I've decided I will start selling my farts over on my Unfiltered page. Regular price $1,000, but for the next 10 days only, you can get them for $500. So definitely go check out my
I wonder if there's any left.
link and buy my farts.
Telling you, this is why the universe wants us fucking dead. That's why it's trying to get rid of all of us.
Like, I am ready to fucking push the button.
Right
now, if there was a big red button that said, all right, kill everybody, I'd be, I might not do it, but I'm fucking
I'd at least, I'd pull the plastic protective cover off the button.
You know what?
At least
Fuck
point.
you guys. Before you continue to virtue signal your way through this bad boy, let me ask you a couple of questions, okay?
Okay.
Because I had to go down this road mentally too. I had to go, what would it take for someone to fart in a jar? $50,000 a year. And I started doing the math, and I'm like, if you $50,000 a week, selling your farts in a jar, it's $200,000 a month, easy money. You're doing that over a 12-month period. You're looking at $24 million a year for doing something that we do anyway, and just putting it in a jar, putting a top on it, mason jar, and then selling it to some fucking crazy bastard in Japan or Germany or wherever the fuck these guys are from, where they want these jars of farts.
Racist.
So let me ask you this. How much would you need to get paid, guys? Because there's a market for us too. There really is. I know you don't want to think there is. There is a market for jars of farts out there. How much would it take you to base yourself like that, where you turn your entire perspective around and be like, it's not that bad? Lock? How much a week? $50,000? You're not farting in a jar? You're not basing yourself forever for $50,000 a week for the rest of your life if you want?
I think that not a lot of people on this panel have enough bowel control, so there might be a fart and then some shit might fall into the jar.
That's a bonus.
That's kind of
if I put a jar down there and I'm forcing a fart out, you're getting more than a fart.
That's like no. That's like when you go to like No Frills and you have to buy the dented can. You get a discount on those ones.
Yeah. No, if dented means shit all over the outside of the fucking jar.
Keep the shit in there. An extra $50.
Dean, I don't think you comprehended what I was saying. I wasn't mad at her. I'm mad that there are people that will buy them.
Yes.
That's fucked.
There's a market for anything. That's my point. There's a market for anything. Locke, and I'm starting with you. You still haven't answered. Would you start an import-export company of fart jars if someone said, I'll give you $50,000 a week? Yes or no?
Funny you brought this up.
I don't want the story. I just want a yes
to do
or
with
no
Jimmy.
for now. Yes or no? Would you do it?
We're going to start selling Jimmy's farts on our merch page.
Yeah. Are you really?
Yeah. But the problem with that is our audience, it's kind of like putting fentanyl in the cocaine. You're killing your users, right? Like a jar of Jimmy ass shows up and you pull that off and give that a whiff. You have a 1 in 5 chance of dying in your home.
Ratings will go down.
Bonds $50,000 a week. Guaranteed you would.
Without a
Who
doubt.
asked
I don't
it?
even
Jesus
need an
Christ.
extra.
3 months ago, you were thinking of getting into old guy porn. Of course you'd do it.
Bondzee's
I'm still
already
thinking about doing the 3-ball OnlyFans page too. So I think there's a niche for that.
I'm okay with the 3-ball OnlyFans page. Shitting in a jar makes no fucking sense to me. I don't care how much money anybody's
farting in a jar. It's not shitting in a jar.
Yeah.
It's just farting in a jar.
Lynn's already established that if I'm forcing one out, there's particle matter on the outside of that jar.
Again, you're looking at gift horse in the mouth.
hand.
To me, those are just like bonus items that you could sell for twice as much. Ryan, would you do it?
Oh yeah, well, 100%, and it wouldn't even take that much. I wouldn't even have. I would undercut all of you motherfuckers and just sell you on volume.
Are you a gassy prick?
How much would it cost?
No, but I live in Hamilton, so all I would have to do is go out and like jar the air, and nobody would know the fucking difference. Anyway.
How much, Linz? How much?
What's the benchmark now? 50 grand a week.
50 grand a week to be a fartrepreneur. Would you do it?
I don't know.
How much?
Oh, yeah, and 50. I'd say 10. Yeah,
I'm
10,
going
10 grand.
5. No problem.
Fuck
even
you.
5, I'd do it for. It's 25 grand a month at even 5 grand a week or 20 grand.
You see, shipping's expensive though, man.
No, you make them pay for it. She doesn't pay for shipping. That's the other thing I looked at. She had the site. It's called unfiltered.com.
Give me that button.
And you not only had to pay $500 for a fart, you had to pay $1,000 for a fart. You also paid for shipping.
Think of all the problems we have in the world.
Right.
Think of every issue that you could solve.
I'm
with
not
money.
judging this girl.
No, but fellas are paying
And
$1,000
these
for farts.
cocks are spending thousands of dollars for a jar of fart juice. It's just awful. It is. It's wrong on so many levels, and I can't believe you're even asking us whether or not we would decide to do this for a living.
You know what? You're full of shit. I know you're lying because I know you would do it. Yeah, you would. You would absolutely. If some guy came to you right now and he said, "Here's a contract, Lochlin, to fart in jars for the next year. We'll give you 50 grand a week. You got to quit your radio gig, though." You would do it. There isn't a fucking person on this panel that wouldn't. Rookie, would you do it?
Yeah, and I'd create a business out of it. So I'd tell them what I ate before and be like, "This is my steak and eggs farts," and I can mix them together.
Nice.
So you want steak, eggs, and asparagus? But also my overhead would be higher because I'm going to get the 1 liter ball jars that are like big ones for soups.
That's right.
So you can have like 6 farts in one.
Yeah. You buy like Costco of farts. Rookie would be the Costco.
I'd be Costco farts.
Yeah. He'd be
You know what,
Costco. You buy in bulk.
If somebody's buying, I'm selling.
You need to take a phone and videotape a conversation with your mom, asking her if she has any canning jars.
Yeah.
Oh, I know she does. She's a big jar person.
Just
Makes
say,
jams, jellies.
Maybe she's doing it on the side. You don't know it.
She's a big jar person.
Maybe she's a
mom.
Well, she's always making
farts.
jams and pickled stuff and all that stuff.
I nailed it.
There's
I also
lots
nailed
of
it earlier when
comment
we were talking
section.
about that she's a spoon collector.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is.
I can tell she actually
Who's the
collects
murder-
dead butterflies.
I was just going to say, who's the
too.
serial killer in that house?
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs up there in the top corner.
Yeah.
I don't know many. I don't know
She
many.
pulls out a
women that have
Cabernet tonight. You might want to.
Are you? Are you in your mom's now? Is that where you are?
Yeah, I am. I'm in
Yeah.
the basement.
She in the room with you?
No, she's upstairs.
She still hate my guts.
No, she doesn't hate you. She just doesn't like your swearing, and she calls you that man. It's the.
Has she listened to you?
Yeah,
man.
she doesn't
That
like
dude.
me either. So
There goes
she
that
doesn't
man.
like my swearing.
Well, listen, I want to deal with something here because this is that part of the podcast that we put off for the last 53 minutes, and we did
This
this
is the
on purpose.
elephant in the room.
Yeah, but we did this on purpose. So 2 days ago, we did a podcast when Bondzee was in transit. He was on his way from Edmonton to Hamilton, where he's now with Lynn's, and he's staying with his mom, I believe, tonight, but getting his life back together in Ontario, putting the pieces all together for a fruitful life. Anyway, so when he wasn't with us, we were shitting all over him. And he went back, and you listened to the podcast, and you had some significant issues, if I'm not mistaken, because we've been dealing with it internally. Worth fucking talking about, right? Because we did it on the show, so let's fucking finish it on the show.
We air
because
our
there's no
dirty
point not
laundry
to.
every once in a while.
Yeah, I could care less. So why don't
Let's
you
open
take
the
it from
fart
here?
jar.
Yeah, let's open the fart jar of conflict. Why don't you take it from here? You got the controls. You're on the sticks. Hey, Chris, you got a rye there? Is that what you got?
No, I just the fart jar.
Oh, the fart jar. You're on the sticks because I know you've loaded a bunch of different assets in here, right? So
I got you, Bonds.
All right, I'll let you handle this. And
Rook is the mediator, is the role that he wanted to play today because he said, and granted, worth saying out loud, that he was worried that if Bondzee was presented with the opportunity to speak, that he would be railroaded, that we wouldn't allow him to speak, and that Rook felt the need to be the guy to make sure that Bondzee.
It's enough.
Remember?
Bring him back in.
Heard enough.
Yeah, that wasn't me, by the way. That was Rook.
That was well played.
So why don't we just get started? Bonds, maybe you should start because I know you've written some things down with that beautiful collection. Oh no, he did. He wrote stuff down. He made fucking notes, dude. I talked to him last night because what I found out is he's not really mad at me at all, or Ryan at all, or Chris at all. He's really just mad at you, and of course, Army Chris, who joined us as well, or was, but we're here to kind of figure that out. So there's Army Chris, ladies and gentlemen, from the
Army
Fire for Effect podcast. He gives, if you thought I give no fucks, he gives like half the fucks I give. So this will be interesting. Bonds, take it away. Why don't you go ahead and air your grievances, and then we'll go from there.
All right. So here's what happened. I get off the plane. I get talking to Lindley on the way home. Thanks for picking me up, Lindley. We get back to his house, and he goes,
thanks for making me wait.
Yeah, I didn't make you wait. Thanks for the lack of staff. Anyways, I get there, and he goes, he's got it all queued up and ready to go on his phone. He goes, you got to watch the show tonight. So I had a good inkling that I was going to get railroaded in some sort of way on the podcast on Monday whilst I was flying home, and I wasn't wrong. Boy, I wasn't wrong. So here's the deal. I had an issue with it at first because I wasn't there to defend myself, and B, I'd never really heard people speak and say things about me like that and before. Like that sort of situation has never happened. I've never been outside a room and hearing everybody go, yeah, fucking Bondzee is Bondzee that. But, so it was watching it was just like, oh, and then it just kept getting worse. It started with Locke kind of telling all sorts of false accusations that he got from Army Chris. Now, I know Army Chris was a military guy. I didn't realize he was a spy for the Dean Blundell network. And that's sort of what happened. And so by the time information got from Army Chris to Locke to the show, we all know Locke has a problem with telling the full truth. And again, it's content. So it took me a little bit to comprehend what was said about me. And it was tough at first. It was no lie. I hardly slept that night because I was like going through the whole show in my head, all the scenarios, all the things that were said about me. And Dean, you're not going to get off fully easy here, because you did call me a loser.
Well,
3 times. You go, there's this side of loser of Bondzee, then there's this loser Bondzee, and you put them together, and he's a huge loser. I was like, oh, that's really fucking nice. So there's that, and then Locke just kept piling on. Then Army,
I don't know if I
shooting
remember it like that.
Daggers. So one of the things that I will start with Army Chris because he's here. And before I preface this, thank you to both for having me and hosting me. I had a fabulous time. I really did. But Army Chris, he had the audacity to say I'm not really a riveting conversation piece or anything. Meanwhile, it's pretty tough to talk to something that's everything. A few beers and out he goes.
That's a Jimmy picture.
So I tried to talk to him. I was talking to him, but he wasn't really listening. So, and then I got a lovely message from his ex-wife, who is a frequent visitor of ours. They share the dogs and stuff. So she came over quite a bit. And she actually sent me a really nice message when I was on my home. She says, keep in touch. I really enjoyed our chats. I'll send you some shit for funny shit time to time. Hoping you get Tucker some shit first. But anyways, the gist of that story is she loved my chats. So we'll get that out of the way.
Okay.
And then
you're building a great case, by the way, so far. Keep going.
Clarence Darrow.
All of us.
And Army Chris also said, the guy's on his computer 18 hours a day. I mean, my computer's open a lot. Listen, there's show prep to do. I still did shows while I was there. I'm in a hockey fantasy pool. I do a lot of this and that. And
sounds like sorry, can I stop you? Sounds like the scene from Step Brothers where he's like, "What do you do?" He's like, "Manage a baseball team." Right. He's like, "What kind?" Fantasy.
Hey, I'm number 1 in my fantasy league. That shit takes work. Okay, so wheeling and dealing and making moves. So okay. So anyways, I think that's all from Chris. But Chris likes to feed Locke kind of falsish information, if you will. So we'll get to Locke now, because Locke had a big part in this, in the sense of, especially the drinking, and he's sitting here, oh, Bondzee's a mess and he's out of control and stuff. Every time I saw Locke, it was Bondzee, but beer, go on, have beer. And then he set up an actual date. Like, he took me out on a date. We had chicken wings and beer, which is all ordered and taken care of by Locke, which was really nice of him. Thanks for that. And then, those guys pounded the beers. I'm sitting and sipping away on mine. That was one of the times he railroaded me and secretly videotaped me.
I believe it's because you were very hungover.
Yeah, I was extremely hungover, and I was trying not to drink that much. And then Locke just keeps pushing to my face. Come on, Bondzee, let's get wasted.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to let you have I didn't do that, though.
Yeah. Let him go. Let him go. We'll address it at the end. Yeah.
And then the other thing, this eating like a 7-year-old. I ate with Locke twice, and that was pizza, wings he took us out for, and pizza when we worked New Year's Eve. Where it's funny, I was apparently out of control and crazy New Year's Eve, and even the midget thought I was a bit of a gong show. Listen, I was on adrenaline. It was fun. I was excited to be there and be a part of that. You guys kept bashing it up like it was, oh, we're going to get wasted. We're going to have a great time. And I thought it was a really good time, except for me dropping the F-bomb on the air. I apologize for that. But overall, I thought it was good. So I just everything that was said about me was kind of really, really, really over the top, when it was maybe kind of just sort of should have been down there.
Is that it?
Well, one more thing. This whole toddler body thing. I don't know where this comes from. There's no hiding it. I've got a beer belly, if you will. I call it an alcohol belly. Yeah, and I mean, listen, we've got the COVID weight, we've got the drinking weight on there, but like 5 years ago, I was looking pretty svelte, and we're gonna be back there this year. So, I mean, I don't understand where you get a toddler body out of that whole thing, but if the beer belly makes me, and then the other thing is, we're not Bondzee always talking about quit drinking, and we're worried about this, and he's sick of listening to it and hearing about it, and Ryan Lindley wrote a beautiful post. Yet day 4, day 5, day 6. Oh, look at. I understand. We're really proud of you for doing the yoga every day, buddy. But yeah, that's enough's enough. Sick of seeing you shirtless on Instagram every day.
He's an influencer.
Yeah, he sure is.
I agree.
You look fucking awesome, dude. I need to do that.
Yeah, if I tried to do that,
anyway,
I would fall and hurt myself.
Sorry, Bonds. I don't mean to interrupt. Continue.
No, it's okay. And then I guess the last thing, Bondzee's like a reckless this and forget shit everywhere. I forgot a pair of shoes at his place and one little piece of my charging thing for my computer. And other than that, I really don't understand where this whole he's a complete mess. I don't know how he survives. I mean, I've managed to do a pretty good job. I took my solo ass across the U.S. I'm still alive, made a whole lot of friends. And, the greatest is Locke comes at me and says all these crazy things that, he's like a child. And Locke he's an empty nester now. So Locke loves to play and take over the role of dad. Jimmy said this. He's like, Locke is my best friend, but he also thinks he's my dad. And that's where Locke, I think that's where this comes from, because he's an empty nester and he's lonely, you know? So he takes over the role of dad. And that's on Locke to think that he has to play role of dad to Bondzee and worry about me and this and this. Don't worry about me. I'm doing just fine.
Okay, so that's great. Good stuff. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the
opening arguments are closed.
We're rounding the bases yet again. But let me just ask you this real quick. Very well done. You presented a decent case. Yeah, Army Chris is okay. Good job. You kind of went sideways there for a second. But listen, let me just let's back this train up for just a second. So what I heard you say was you had a problem with the fact that Lochlin called you an alcoholic. Is that correct? Give me the bullet points. It said you're an alcoholic, toddler, couldn't get it together. Generally painted you like you were a useless loser, correct?
An utter mess that isn't really able to take care of himself. And
I didn't say that. I said I'm surprised you're able to take care of yourself.
Yeah, so they're more honesty. I love it. But the general consensus here is that you feel ganged up on. You feel like Chris fed Lochlin information. Lochlin used that information in the first person against you and shouldn't have done it. You're upset with me because I said you were a loser 3 times. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
The drunk loser, the other loser, and they come together to make one great big loser. Is that what you're upset by? Okay, I got that one. Are you upset with Locke at all, or sorry, Linz at all, or
Lindsay
Rook
had
at all?
my back that day. Really good job of kind of defending me.
Tell your wife, Rookie, that he's happy that
you know what? Can I just jump in and say one thing? One thing. This whole conversation can be summed up in one simple explanation. We all have certain personality types, okay? And those personality types lend themselves to a perception that other people have of us. And sometimes that perception we're not comfortable with, right? If you're self-aware enough, you can look at what you might be projecting out and then use that information to help yourself move forward if you're uncomfortable with what that perception is. I can be an asshole. I've known that about myself for a long, long time. I'm aware of these types of situations because they happen to me all the time. Ask Army Chris. This is a regular in the friends group. We have conflict like this on a regular basis because I get myself into situations where I say things that I probably shouldn't.
Don't get me wrong. This is all your fault. Yeah.
Of course, I know that. And that's the other thing about my personality type. My personality type is when there is somebody to blame, when somebody's looking for somebody to blame, it's really easy to blame me. I'm the GOAT in most situations. I got to live with that, right? I'm comfortable with that role.
What?
I always have
the GOAT.
I'm the GOAT. I will get blamed for everything. If something goes wrong at the radio station, there's a picture of me on the back of a door, and it says, if something goes wrong, blame this guy. I get blamed for shit that you have no idea. Like I had no idea happened. That's just the way things are. It's my personality type. The one thing that I think that you need to be aware of, Bondzee, is your role in this, and it is your personality type. And listen, you're not wrong to be upset about what happened on Monday. If I will apologize for anything, it will be that I should have saved what I said when you were on the pod. That was
you're a better man than me. I ain't apologizing for fuck all.
I don't want anybody to.
I knew it was going this way.
Hey, look, listen, Bondzee, I'm going to caveat this conversation with a couple things. One, I'm an extremely OCD Army guy. Number two, and we'll break this down. If there's anything I said that you feel is untrue or embellished, we'll have that conversation. And number three, you know, like, first of all, I was going to ask Ryan if he could get his wife, his lovely wife, to give you a tampon yesterday because it felt like a fucking meal. Or I was going to book a flight, grab some Vicks, rub it on your chest, turn your fucking nightlight on. But that wasn't an option.
I don't remember. I don't know why you're saying all this because I didn't really bitch or moan or whine or complain.
Let him finish,
yesterday.
dude. I gave you like 20 minutes to present your case. You can answer. Go ahead.
I'm going to retort. Okay. You're a great guy. You're welcome back here anytime. You can get all the rest of your shit you left behind. But when you fucking show up, you got shit everywhere. You got 3 pairs of reading glasses that were in 3 different rooms. You stole at least 2 of my fucking phone chargers, which I can't find, because you have 2 laptops, fucking AirPods, fucking 2 phones, and all your shit was plugged in everywhere. It took me an hour to reconfigure my set. Okay. All right. Oh, and by the way,
if that's the worst
this
thing, that's not a big deal.
Podcast is brought to you by St. Hubert's Chicken Sauce. You can get it on your fucking Doritos and pizza. You showed up, jacked my freezer, and loaded it up with cardboard pizza. I get you. You're doing voiceovers. I fucking look, man. You're a bit of a shit show. You need to acknowledge and fucking like.
I don't agree.
And the third caveat, and I'll allow you to retort, is that of all the people that are on the show, you spent the most time with me, right?
True.
At the end of the day, you spent, I want to say 10 days here. And fuck, bud, you needed to like make some adjustments to shit. So
Bondzee?
let's break this down. You hit me with.
Can I ask Bondzee a question? A legit question.
Yeah.
Okay, let's let Army Chris finish. Yeah.
Break down my comments yesterday, as you recall them, and tell me what parts aren't true.
Well, the fact that you said I was having some random over at your house who I was picking up, trying to date off the comments. That's not true at all. Who was coming over was a friend of my producer from 10 plus years ago. She became a friend of mine like a year ago, and we're friends on Facebook. She's a big fan of the show and this show, and that's who was coming over. It wasn't me hitting the comments up and picking up chicks.
Okay. I have to make that clarification because that's been mentioned a couple times, Bonds. Then I'll get out of this again and we'll just listen. Is there any truth to the fact that you, quote, scope for honeys in the comments section of our shows?
Yes. Okay, well, that's
incredible move.
That's part of the over exaggeration of.
Well, hang on, I didn't get an answer from him. Hang on,
I said no,
Bonds. You never.
No, I have talked to girls in the comment section.
Never. I've never DM'd girls in the comment section and had conversations that led to other conversations about maybe getting together for drinks or any of that stuff. Have you ever done that?
Yes, they contacted me.
All right.
Okay. So just ask him. That's funny. That's a funny thing to say that you use the podcast as a dating app. That's funny.
Not true.
And that's a great move.
Bondzee, I got to ask you.
We're actually.
It's a generalization. It's funny.
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Yeah, dude.
Have you ever met the young lady in question? Had you ever physically met her before?
No.
You haven't met her.
No.
So my choice of words in saying she's a random, maybe off, fair, but you fucking never met her.
You also don't invite people to other people's houses.
Hold on.
Without at least asking.
And was granted permission.
Okay. All right.
Chris is not the guy that would say no to that, Ryan.
No.
He's the guy that will make fun of you for doing it after the fact, but he's not the guy that will say no.
100%.
Okay. Can I ask Bondzee? This is a serious question, and I think this is part of the issue and the disconnect. And I want to say this first off. I hope this doesn't jeopardize our friendship moving forward because I actually do really like you, and I hope that you and I can maintain friendship. I know you were very upset.
I'm not mad at anybody. This is part of the show. This is content. It's funny.
That being said, we know you were upset about what happened on Monday, and you were in your rights to be upset at us. And I know we've had a little bit of time, little bit of separation. It was probably, I know Dean did this on purpose. He actually gave us a day for cooler heads to prevail so that it wasn't something. I think if we would have done this yesterday, it would have been a lot uglier. I want to just say something, and this is something that I think that you need to. And again, it's not my place to give you advice on how to live your life, but. Is it fair? And this has happened to me. I've had to do this in my own life about how I come off in certain social situations with emails on social media because I am surprised by the reaction that I get back. Is it safe to say that maybe the way you live your life might be surprising to other people?
Of course.
Okay. Then how... that's the disconnect here. We spent enough time with you, Bondzee, to have an opinion, and you know what? And some of it was exaggerated for the sake of content and entertainment. But we were around you long enough to develop an opinion about your life and how you live it. Now, I will tell you this: everybody I've spoken to about you and the things that you've done in the last year. Everybody is fucking jealous about the life you lead. But we are also critical of it from the perspective of it that you seem like a bit of a rudderless ship. Now you're
I don't understand
in
how
existence.
Maintaining a full-time job and traveling
Bondzee,
the world.
Hear me out.
Let him finish.
Rudderless.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Okay.
That's why I started laughing because I thought of all the things that Lochlin has said to Bondzee over the past year. calling him rudderless in the makeup conversation is the best.
Can I interject for a second here?
110.
Rookie, what do you need?
Just a quick second. I'm just going to put my psychologist hat on.
Yeah.
Bondzee, somebody said in the comment section that, when people make fun of you, it's because they love you. And any group of guys ribs each other, and that's how guys do. That's how we do.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, just to get a little deeper, everybody makes fun of somebody else for things that they see in themselves.
That's fair.
So
and
maybe
you know what?
Lochlin has a rudderless ship. Deep down, he thinks his ship is rudderless.
Dude, I have fucking a ton of shit I need to work on.
You were taking
I got
he's
4
hard as
beer
iron.
already, and it's 2:00 here. Okay.
If you're taking life advice from Lochlin Cross, you are dog.
You're in trouble.
Wasted effort.
You are
really
fucking in trouble. Okay, but I saw what I saw, and I made some judgments based on that, and it's something that I need to work on in my own life because I'm trying to be less judgmental. Can I give you guys a little bit of Lochlin life philosophy?
I would love nothing more.
Okay.
Remember when you said you weren't going to talk the whole show?
Yeah.
Come on, Rook.
Fucking Rook bounces them. I love it.
Okay. I believe that I can fix every problem in the world that we live in right now. And it's a 3-step process. Okay. Army Chris.
This may be why we're here today.
Tony Robbins.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Figure out who you are. Number 2.
Easy. Yeah. Don't expand on that. Just say it because it sounds good.
Number 2, learn to be comfortable with who that person is. Number 3, stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Okay. I think I'm pretty good at number 1. I think I've figured out who I am. I'm still working on number 2. I'm still trying to get comfortable with who I am. Okay. And I think every single one of us, to a certain extent, is good and bad at those number 2. And I'm not.
What was
very
number
good
3?
At number 3.
What was
Stop
that again?
judging
Sorry.
people.
Drink
Stop
14
judging.
Pilsners before 2.
Let's go through the comment section from people from
Rudderless
Edmonton.
ship, I believe it was,
Edmonton
right?
is,
Rudderless ship.
But hold
checking
on.
into the house. Hang on.
If I
Edmonton's
can
on.
help, if I can say one thing that can help, I think Bondzee, I think that you're doing okay at number 1, and I think number 2, because your opinion of yourself and how others view you, there's a bit of a disconnect there. And everyone fucking loves you. You can't help but love Bondzee. But that number 2 one, I think if I can help you in any regard, if anything that I do in my life could help anybody else, that number 2 one, man, you got to start getting more comfortable with yourself. And we are jealous of the life you're living right now, but we're also concerned about it a little bit.
Thank you, though.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
We are
Thanks
a
for
little bit
speaking
I don't wanna
concerned
for all
about
of
it
us.
because
I don't want to
we do
milk a
care
liter
about
of
you.
pus from my taint every day and have 3 testicles. And have
It's
to
not
go
that bad.
Whole.
It's gonna be fixed shortly.
So Bondzee,
It's a
listen,
minor medical
Lochlin
issue.
needs to work on
Okay.
the water stain on his fucking 1970s ceiling. And you're good shit. You are. It's just your shit is all over the fucking place. And, and listen, by the way, let's attack Bondzee's alcoholism, because I don't think he drinks too much. I get it. I'm the wrong guy to say that, right? I'm the wrong yardstick for that. However, I never seen a guy smoke fucking more weed in my life, man. Like, I had 6 months worth of weed stocked up. He smoked it in 3 days. I had to call 2 different guys to get more weed.
Is that true? Bonds? Is that true?
True.
Yeah, I smoke quite a bit of weed.
Yeah, a little bit.
Definitely, it's true.
Dude, this is all
Just a
part
little
of
bit.
what we're viewing.
But here's
and
That's okay, though.
I want to say 2 things.
Yeah.
That my 10 days at Army Chris's was the first time that I did have to read a few scripts at first Army Chris, and then I was kind of off. That was the first 6-7 days off I've had in a row in almost 2 years from work. So it was kind of just nice to sleep in, get up in the morning, have a special coffee with Army Chris, and maybe start drinking some wine. Not right away like Army Chris did, but and I had some drinks and enjoyed them, and was kind of just aloof on my computer and The worst I did was leave some eyeglasses, and some chargers around. Not the end of the world. And I don't think I stole any of your chargers. I'll double check my bag. If I did, I'll send you some money. Go buy some more. So if that's the worst complaints these guys are going to bring at me from staying at their house and this, I think I did pretty good at the end of the day.
Yeah, you did. You did. That's why we were surprised at how upset you were.
Let me caveat this to close my fucking part of this out. And I'm gonna leave the 18 bottles of Coca-Cola, bottled water, and Gatorade that were all half drank.
Which also got drank, and then I always put them in the recycling bin.
Did you just say drank?
Listen, buddy, yeah, I loved having you here. I loved having you here, and I love busting your balls. But you're a fucking solid dude. You're always welcome here.
Thanks, man. You were an amazing host too, by the way, and your cooking skills are next to none, hands down.
Yeah, I love your dog. I love having you here, and you're always welcome. And I love busting your fucking nuts, dude.
Bondzee, can I just see the bit of a gong show in you, though? Do you see that somebody?
Oh my God!
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
Oh,
stop doing that to him. He's gonna get pissed. Let me just say this. Is Bondzee didn't do anything wrong. Bondzee didn't do anything wrong. Nothing wrong. Bonzee's Bondzee. Nope. And you know what? All of us are doing, and I do it because it's a fun thing to do, right? We all do. But you know what we're all doing is we're all having our negative opinion on Bondzee based on how perfect we are. So, like, if anybody here on this panel in any of these 6 windows who, like, I called you a loser 3 times the other day. Do I believe part of you is a loser? 100%.
A rudderless loser.
No, I don't think he's rudderless at all. That's where I completely fucking disagree. But that's the duplicity with which that you have the problem that you've admitted that you have, right? I have the same problem. There's part of me that's a total fucking loser, dude. I've been running away from that guy now for several years. And I'm trying to bring those things into focus, which was kind of the conversation I was trying to have when I called you a loser 3 times. Did I get carried away 3 times calling you a loser? Sure. Did I say, did you need to bring all the loser parts together to make one mega loser? No, I didn't. But I will say this, is that that was one of 5 million conversations we've had, literally, not just here, but on the phone and on text, and it was over the past year, where maybe we got carried away with like crapping all over the Bondsmeister, right? And I get that, and for that I kind of apologize. I do. I think fuck, if we can all get a little bit better through this process, maybe this is how we get a little bit better. But I will say this, is that I fucking love watching you lose your mind, because it's the greatest reaction we've ever had on this show. I've told you that. That's why we do it. You don't understand. And everybody's like, we do it because of this, and it's content, and you got to understand you're this. This is not a personal indictment of you at all. Each one of us that had a problem with anything that you did has never even really fucking met you other than Army Chris, right?
No, we don't have a problem with it.
No, but
we don't have a problem with it. Nobody was upset about.
Yeah, but we're judging the way he lives his life according to what we think he should be doing.
Like
Meanwhile,
upset with me at first,
a lot of us are fucking yard sales.
I was not upset with you.
I'm not judging the way he lives. I'm just pointing out, making casual observations to what I saw in front of me, and then
Lochlin put it on Super Boosters on the podcast the other day, and he's like,
and I guess here's the deal. It bothered me because I am a hardworking motherfucker. I take chances that 99% of people don't take.
You do.
And I live life differently, and that happened since getting PTSD and seeing that horrific thing, losing my marriage after 17 years, and then get kind of trusting women again, get re-engaged, only to be cheated on 3 days after we got engaged, and then continued the whole time. So it just kind of fucking beat me up.
Listen,
and
I gotta ask you a question.
It changed me, and I decided to hit the road and travel and not live a normal life like the rest of the people do.
Do you still have all your dates lined up?
I'm going to see people that I know and some that I don't know.
I'll take that as a yes. That's good.
Do you think
dates?
Do you think that I don't know what a date is?
Right.
You know what I mean.
Right.
Do you
go? Yeah.
Sorry. No. Do you think that the reason why you take those chances that 99% of the people won't is? Do you think that's because you freed yourself because of your PTSD and your issues in the past, or do you think that that's you running and like just not wanting to face anything concrete or any sort of commitment. Is that what it is?
Yeah, totally. Running, yes, but not fully.
Not running away. Like you're not like running away from everything. I mean, like you just don't want to commit to something. You don't like commitment anymore because you got fucking burned by commitment so many times.
Yeah, and not only in with women, but jobs too, where you give this commitment and then you get railroaded, and so yeah, it's kind of I've changed since 2016.
Yeah, I was just curious because it just seems like because you're right. I love stability. I could not know where I'm going to live next month. I couldn't do that. I couldn't live that way. I need to know where my paycheck. I need to know how much. That's why I will only take salary jobs because I need to know how much my paycheck is going to be, so I can like I'm very, very fastidious when it comes to that. I could not do what you do, even though you do it well, and you like the chaos. You seem to thrive in the chaos. I can't do that, so I have to tip my hat, and that's where I am jealous of you. Where that you have that ability. That
how
part
shocked
I
were you
am
when you
jealous
went on
of.
your trip to find yourself still there? Right?
Well, yeah.
Like how shocked were you when you went on your trip to find yourself still there? Like I mean, you're going to carry around the same shit you're running away from. But but in your case,
it never leaves.
But in your case, this is a journey. So listen, you can all judge this cat. We can all judge him. We can all say these different things about this young man here, but we all are on the same journey. We just don't talk about ours because we don't live as honestly as this cat lives. So it's easy fucking low-hanging fruit for us is to go, hey, Bondzee, let's talk about his journey because his journey is way more fucking exciting than ours. And it's not that anybody's jealous, but what goes into what you're doing is running. What you are doing is you're going through this incredible fucking awesome journey right now. That's what running is. That's why people do it.
That's a great point. It's easy to shit on the guy who sticks his dick outside the bubble. Because when you stay in your bubble and you live in this vanilla world, nobody's going to comment on it. Nobody's going to attack it or jump on it. But if you do what he's doing, he's saying, fuck this. This is how I'm going to run my life. And I don't care what you think.
Well, it's not even how he's running his fucking life. This is the thing that I don't think a lot of people grasp in this conversation or generally when you sit around and you sewer your buddy or you're doing it for content. Here's the truth. The truth is Bondzee is doing something out of a cognitive bias, some kind of psychological cognitive bias. That's why he's doing this. It's because something happened, and it's a bunch of different things that have happened. He watched some poor kid die. His wife divorced him for a 4th level elf on World of Warcraft. Then all of a sudden, it's tough. I mean, it's tough that's a tough one, right? She might have been a wizard. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, goes down to Costa Rica and he has his life, and this woman breaks his heart, and he thought he was getting what he wanted out of life. Like, I mean, he suffered some big fucking trauma.
Huge.
Not to mention his entire life that we don't know about. Those are just things. The dude milks his taint every day. It's a big, tough fucking thing to carry around your shoulder. He's got 3 testicles. He has a different. But he tells us he lives this, and here's what he does that we don't. I don't even do this. I mean, that's what makes him so incredible and his journey so awesome to me, is that he tells us all about it. All the things that we hide and we stuff down like a bunch of fucking losers. This guy's out here living it, and then we're carving him for fun the next day because he's
that's it. Over the 10 days he spent with me.
Yeah,
hearing about Nicaragua and running a bar down there. And all the shit he's done, I'm like, fucking wow, man. Most people wish they could do that. Yeah. They wish they could do that.
Jealous of you. Okay, can I just add one more thing?
Hang on, Locke. I was left with one thing. How much shit does he have in other countries?
Chargers
everywhere.
Phone chargers and fucking reading glasses are
everywhere. Okay, I have one more thing. I have one more thing to say. And this is again another observation about and I think this plays into why we're at where we're at. You have this type of personality, and it's a little like Jimmy, my co-host, the little guy on the show. Whenever we get into a room, any situation with other people, women in the room gravitate towards him, not to play with his dick or do anything like that. They want to mother him. Like they go to him. They're like, hey, have you seen a doctor lately? It's crazy. I could literally, if I was in a social situation, I could cut my fucking arm off with an axe and walk into the middle of the room and no one would offer me any help, male or female. Okay. Jimmy just walks into a room and Army Chris is seeing this. Women like flock to him and go, have you brushed your teeth? Are you taking your vitamins? Are you eating okay? They mother him. You have a little bit of that as well, where people, I watched it happen, where people want to find out about how you're doing. They want to sit down with you. They want to talk with you about, hey, are you doing okay? Like his ex-wife did it to you. Like I can tell by the correspondence that you have with these individuals on the text, like on the comment section. People want to take care. That's your personality.
Tinder, the comment section, your Tinder.
Bondzee, that's you.
That part of this conversation was the best.
Ladies in the comments,
so far
DM me.
was when I go, hey, Bondzee, is it true? I'm just listening.
Do you know how many
that you're picking up chicks on the comment section
podcast in a year?
And you're like, no, I never do that. And then I probe and ask 2 more questions. You're like, yes, I always do that.
Yeah, it was like it reminds me of, remember when was it Dave Chappelle when he was doing I never put my feet on his couch. Why would I put my feet? Of course I put my feet on his couch. Yeah. That's exactly what he just did.
I loved how you brought this for the
Rick
chick
James.
too, just to troll.
Rick James, bitch.
So hold it, ladies. If you're interested in having intercourse with Bondzee and you're in the Hamilton area, hit us up in the comments section, because this is why he brought this heat today, by the way. And you look greased up in this picture. You look great. Did you baby oil at all?
No, I think I probably just got back from a run.
Oh, did you? And you felt good and stuff.
I was feeling good.
Did it feel weird doing the like muscle in the picture too?
Well, I
always wonder that about selfie guys
and stuff, because I was pretty proud of how hard I'd worked, and there was a process of pictures long, because I was a bit just like I am now, a little chubbier before that picture, and I put a lot of hard work into that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that.
You're a good guy, Bondzee. You're a good guy.
You are a good guy. Yeah, you look great.
Look, I already got Melissa wants me to call her. See, it's gonna work.
Exactly. And meanwhile, fuck. How you doing, Locke? Just fucking bleeding out of my fucking arm to death. Yeah, it's how you're perceived in social situations. You attract that kind of energy, right? And it's not a bad thing, Bondzee. It's okay to be self-aware about it as well, right?
Yeah.
Use it to your advantage. You clearly are. You're hooking up with half the fucking listeners on this fucking podcast in the next month and a half. Good for you.
Thanks. In all fairness,
gonna be all right now?
Want any of you
Are we
to
done with this?
apologize.
Because it was like my DMs were full of over the past 2 days, and I haven't even thought about it, to be honest with you, other than just setting up this whole thing today with everybody and working a couple conversations, trying to push most of the blame onto Lochlin, even though I was to blame. But I really did work that yesterday on the phones and publicly on this. Something you would have done. The old double reverse. Yeah, that's what I did.
Listen, dude, you want last words, man? It was a big come to Jesus conversation, as we say in the fucking army. If I offended you, I don't give a fuck. But I love you. I love you.
Come back and visit.
I don't think any of you needed to say sorry in the grand scheme of things. It was just weird having that happen for the first time, and then
there we go. I promised to do you. There we go. That's what he does. He picks up chicks on these shows.
The chicks are picking up me on the show. It's the other way around.
Why would you even lie about that? You know, every question I ask you, I already know the answer to. I'm never looking for information from you.
Everyone on this pod today in this panel was celebrating this move, because none of us can get away with it like you can, Bondzee. It's your energy. It's the fucking it's who you are, man. Like, God love you. Fuck.
Listen, it was great
another
content.
reason to be
I'm
jealous
not mad at you.
Are you done now, though? Are we done? Because it's been super bitchy. Our like DM group sucks. Like, because conversations are happening
like, this
in
is us.
Literally 4 text groups with all of you in these text groups, but like 2 in one in the other, another guy on the DM, and I'm like, I don't even care. Like last night I didn't care, and today I still don't care. Like I'm with Chris, basically. If you're offended, we can't control it. That's the other thing, is that I will say this, Bondzee, you get offended way too easy, and that means there's something going on you got to fucking figure out, because like when you get offended by other people's words, it means you're offended because there's truth in what they're saying and it bothers you. It's touching you somewhere, right?
Yeah, I said that. It was a little
weird
much
to
on
hear
Monday.
and see that for the first time.
It was a little much, Dean. It was a little
That's
much.
all.
That's how interventions work.
I can understand. And that's exactly what he said when he was watching. He says, this feels like a fucking intervention. And I said,
say that.
I said it's very uncomfortable because you're not there to say anything back.
You guys aren't wrong. I do have demons. I've been running from them. I don't like, this problem I have with alcohol. Am I control? It's way under control, better than it's ever been.
Oh, I thought you did great while you were here, man.
I'm still running from the demons of my PTSD. That I know I need to get that fixed still. It's no secret. So yeah, I do have demons, and I guess it was just kind of weird and odd to see. And
Chris just with the low key sewer right there. I loved it.
In here.
Yeah, you didn't drink hardly at all when you were here.
You know what?
I didn't say those words. I said I have it way under control compared to what I
only drank like fucking 4 or 5 bottles of wine or 3 boxes a day. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
If you're gonna put a pin on a map of where not to go in Canada, if you're trying to quit drinking, you might want to start with Edmonton.
Yeah.
All right.
Because when it's minus 40, when it's minus 40 degrees, and
what else do we have to do?
Exactly. You don't make the best decision. Oh wow.
Can I play the asset now?
I can't quit.
Hang on. Well, no, I was just going to say. Let me finish. Let me finish my point. I know Lochlin said he wasn't going to talk the entire show, but he did.
I was lying.
One thing that you're right. You don't make rational decisions when you're always drinking in Alberta. So can you put that picture of Chris back up?
Which one?
I just think it's really no Chris. Yeah, I think it's
I made that
Army Chris. Can you put the picture of Army Chris sleeping?
You did that. That's one of your better.
I think it's very irresponsible that in this weather that he's wearing his summer Crocs and hasn't switched over to his winter Crocs yet. That's absolutely.
That's a great photo. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Have we not talked about how great Lochlin looks like naked? What a great ass!
Yeah, see the ass on it. Yeah, it looks like an apple.
Look at the ass on that guy. Yeah, really
I need
good.
to do a little work on my forward bend though.
He looks like he's ready to get cornholed in prison.
He's ready to bottle farts.
And
can I tell you what I'm doing with the yoga thing? And people can join me if they want.
Oh,
sounds great.
I created a
can't wait
15-minute yoga practice, and I do it every morning when I get up.
Go get a beer while you're doing this.
Yeah. You do orange theory as well, Locke?
Tell me about this. No.
Do you do orange theory too?
Let him
talk.
Yes, let him talk.
Rookie, what did you say?
Nothing. Never mind.
Okay. Sorry, Dean.
He asked if you bought an orange theory.
Oh no, I don't go to the gym. I have never had a gym membership my entire life, actually. No, I've been trying to do. I've done yoga for 10 years. We don't need to get into it. I broke my tailbone when I was 40 playing hockey. The only exercise I ever got leading up to 40 was I was on softball teams. It was all excuses to drink, curling. And then when I broke my tailbone, I gained a bunch of weight and I couldn't exercise, couldn't do anything. So I started doing yoga. I had too many people tell me you should start doing yoga. So I started, and I like doing yoga, and it's been good for me. It offsets my alcoholism, if we're being honest. So I get up now at 3:30 in the morning, and I do a quick 15-minute routine. My wife and I do yoga together, and so sometimes in the afternoons when she's done.
Do you think it's a coincidence that your yoga studio, which I went to you with, is next to a fucking liquor store?
No, I actually stopped at the liquor store multiple times on my way out of the yoga studio and got like a cold 15-pack if I was out. Anyway, so I'm going to try to do yoga. Hopefully I'll be able to get through most of the year. I'm going to try to do at least the 15-minute practice that I do every morning, every day this year. Wish me luck.
Cool.
You're going to do it every. Have you missed a day yet?
No, and I started on last Monday, so the 27th or whatever.
Yeah,
I started doing it every morning when we got back from Hungary.
Because those are pictures like that's you naked now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that day 5 was today. Day 6 will be tomorrow.
Not bad.
Can't wait.
Are you going to drink your own piss?
No, not yet. No, I'm not there yet. That's June.
But if you do, listen, I want you to consider a new thing called Beyond Piss. It's a plant-based product alternative to piss. Goes by the fucking labeling of Bud Light in your local liquor store. I'll leave it there.
We'll never sponsor this.
Hopefully, you're
ever.
that funny on your podcast tonight.
Yeah,
I will fucking mentally block. Trust me.
What's the over under Sorry, what's the over under 15, 20 minutes on when Locke comes into the DMs after the show to apologize for hogging the show? What's the over under?
Oh, I don't.
Okay, I won't do that today then.
That's what this was about. This was about Bondzee and Lochlin.
I'm just trying to start another fight for another episode.
Hold on.
I'm just trying to start another fight for another episode. That's
Hold on. Bondzee, did you feel like you got to say your piece?
Yeah, for sure. I did. It was fun.
I can't quit you.
I can't stop.
I can't quit you. My buddy Jimmy. We've been drunk and hugging like that
all
more
the
than a couple of times.
elevator buttons. So
Jimmy's getting
incredibly
cornholed by
high.
Locke right now.
I stand today for the midget, half the size of a regular guy. Let me hold you, little man, as the parade passes by. Let me hold you, little man. We'll
This
make
is
delicious.
believe you can fly.
I put a lot of effort.
You know, you
That's
couldn't have
awesome.
found a
That
better
is so
picture
good.
of me. Because it does.
It's
It
perfect.
does look like I'm having some sort of sexual pleasure.
Bring
You
it
get
back
those
up.
weird
I
googly
am on
eyes.
the verge.
Back up.
Yeah, bring it back up. That's a good idea.
Look at the
That's
look on
Lachlan's
Jimmy's
O-face.
face. It looks like he's like, oh wow, I've never experienced this.
Maybe
Lachlan's
just happy
like-
for the attention.
Lachlan's like, I
and
can't
Locke's on
believe
the
that he
verge.
agreed to this. That's the look on his face.
That's Lachlan's O-face. We've all
You know
just
what?
seen it.
Honestly,
to this.
Army
This is
Chris
awesome.
does the occasional whatchamacallit, the
Photoshop.
Photoshop, but that hands down
That was great.
has to be one of your better ones.
Oh, you made this?
Yeah, Army Chris
Oh,
made that.
fuck. Army Chris with the fucking save
Oh,
at the
hell
end
yeah.
of the show. Way to done. That was awesome.
Cheers, man.
Good
We
job, buddy.
one day that showed up just in our text line. Like he was just sitting at home drinking, and he fired that at us after we talked about Brokeback Mountain.
It's awesome.
Thanks, guys, for doing this. I appreciate it. That was fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diener.
Bondzee, I love you.
Love you guys.
Do you feel
Time to
better,
wrap
Bondzee?
this shit
It's
up.
all good.
Good.
I felt better the next, after that night. And
Can I
it was all good.
summarize? Can I summarize all this? You were sort of a bitch about the whole thing.
No, I disagree. How?
Oh my!
I never fucking whined or complained.
here we
yet.
go.
We were
At
out.
all.
Okay,
We were done.
Okay.
Thought we buried the dog, but he's
But I will
he's
say,
gonna
okay,
beat it
all
again.
right. Let me just say this. You're a total pussy about most of it, though.
I disagree, fucker.
We fucking love you, dude. Trust me.
I love you.
If you get
Okay,
shit
okay.
on,
Prick.
people
All
you
right,
love,
all right,
then
all
you
right,
shit
all
on.
Bean's the guy. He'll call it. I'm sorry. You're still a loser.
No one does. No one.
Bondzee, listen to me. If we've learned one thing from Two Girls, One Cup, if you can't shit on the people you love, who the fuck can you shit on there?
That's true.
That's just it.
Very
Wow.
true.
Well done. Well
It
done.
was all
Very
good
true.
fun, and it's good.
Good way to
Glad we
close.
love you.
So
Good
that's
way
a
to close
We
this.
love you. At least love you
Me
enough
too.
to tell you that you were totally a pussy about the whole thing.
Or as Jimmy would call you, a pansy ass bitch.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't want to say it, but.
I never whined and complained yesterday, so I don't know how I'm a pussy in all of this.
Dude, no one said you were.
Well,
No.
I didn't call you a pussy. No, I didn't.
you know what this show is, Bond?
With
How
James.
many times in this episode do we have to tell you what this fucking show is about?
Yeah, your reaction, dude. This show's not. It's just about getting a reaction out of you.
That's it.
Yeah, I love you. Anyway, thanks, guys. Appreciate you doing this.
Army Chris,
Bondzee,
what
not
time
a
you
pussy.
going live?
Army Chris tonight going live
6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time
with.
with my regular band of brigands and Mr. James P. White from the
Yeah,
Jumpin'
really?
Jimmy's
He'll really add to the
Jedi
content.
Jamboree or something.
Jumpin'
Oh,
Jamboree Jimmy's.
I also have Tara Graves from the TNT podcast.
Okay, cool. Tonight on the network, you can watch that. It's the Fire for Effect podcast. Lochlin, thanks, dude. At Lochlin Cross on Twitter. Appreciate it. Don't be a dick.
Don't
Love
be a
that
dick.
shirt. Be
That is
booze.
great.
Don't be a dick. Ryan Lindley from the Sheeple
Take care,
Shepherd
guys.
podcast. That is Rookie, our head of production. That is, of
Cheers,
course, my
fuckers.
friend Bondzee Live. Follow all these guys where you see their hashtags. No Bondzee Live tonight either. And go
No.
ahead and give that a plug. If you
It's
don't wanna give
Positive
it-
Mike's. He sent me he gave me some beer to
Did you like
brought
it?
back. Oh my god, it was so good. The one that I had last night was like a habanero and mango. and it was a little spicy. It was super tasty. This one's some rum lager. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but it's really good too. But that guy knows what he's doing. I just thought it was like some like swill in his fucking bathtub or something, but it's actually like good beer. I was awesome. Very shocked. It's super, super great. So thank you, Mike. And yeah, Bondzee, what time are you coming back? Because it's remember the smash burgers I did the post on a long time ago?
Do you mind talking about?
We're doing that tonight. We're doing the burgers tonight.
Supper at my buddies.
We're doing the burgers.
You can do almost
from the blog.
All of this on the phone on the way home.
It's relatable to DeanBlundell.com. If you go to DeanBlundell.com, you can see the burgers we're going to eat tonight. We'll take pictures of them too, and you can make them at home yourself.
Did you put some pictures? Are you putting more you putting more burgers up here? Are you going to do more food porn? You doing some food porn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tonight. Well, sorry for interrupting you. And
at DeanBlundell.com. You may have heard from it.
Okay.
I don't know if
been there, seen it.
Love you, buddy. Take care, guys. See you, Chris. Have a great show
tonight. Everybody be good. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Much appreciated, Army Chris. Fire for effect tonight, 9:00 our time. That's it. Wow. How about that Sunwing vacation? What a trip. Go out, get wasted, come back, have a good time. Can't come back. By the way, found out who that Sunwing client is, who the influencers were working on behalf. It was a company called 111 Private Club is your Sunwing influencers organizer. 111 Private Club. That was their big idea. Never heard of them. Thought it might have been like a company we could sue her just for being douchebags. But anyway, never mind. Thanks, everybody, for being part of the show. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks to our friends over at Easy Auto Financial, helping you get into a car, one car at a time. Financing, they get you financing. It's no big deal. They'll help you do all that stuff. EasyAutoFinancial.ca. There's no obligation to sign up either. So if you're looking for a new car, can't get financing, these are the people you need to call. Also, our friends at Domination.com, people that help you with content, DMNTN.com. One person asked me the other day, what do they do? How do you describe it? It's software. So if you produce this kind of stuff, you take the file after you're done, you take your whole cast, your whole show, everything, the sound, the audio, you put it in this big thing, little file, you put it into your software, and then boom, it comes back. You can 72 promos, different links. You can do whatever. It is absolutely incredible what these guys do. So if you're a gamer, streamer, podcaster, check them out at Domination.com, DMNTN.com. And Ed's Fine Imports and his Gitch. Buy Ed's Gitch. He's got Gitch, underwear, boxer briefs, pouch in the front. You've heard of them. They're luxury men's underpants, actually. I should probably use, like, so luxurious. I feel like I probably should be using an English accent to describe to you how incredible Ed's Gitch are. GITCH, number 3. That's your promo code. Go to edsfineimports.com. And you know what he'll do? When you buy 3 pairs, he'll send you the extra pair for free when you use the promo code. And these are nice Gitch. Oh, they're nice. 4 or 5 different colors, all solid colors, black, green. I think there's an orange, for sure a red. I know there's a black. Anyway, because that's all I wear is the black ones. It's a no-brainer, just in case, Never know. So check them out, edsfineimports.com. Have a great day. See you soon. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact, we'll be back here, right here on this very program. Bye.